When I walk outside, the first thing I do is look up. The next thing I do is scan the horizon. Hopefully, there's water nearby. No matter how active or still it is, I'm mesmerized by it. I'm always looking at the sky, the horizon, and water for information and inspiration. I have no idea how much time I've spent gazing at these things, but I'm always rewarded. If not with an image, then with a different state of mind. That's how these images were made, through the accumulation of a lot of looking. They're an invitation to look closely at looking. They're an invitation to see more fully, more deeply, and in many more ways. Sometimes we look to understand nature. Gazing at the sky has historically spawned many forms of divination: aeromancy, atmospheric conditions; astromancy, the relative position of stars; ostromancy, wind; nephomancy, the movement of clouds, are four among many. Related traditions use water, such as hydromancy, the study of the motion of water, and scrying, gazing at reflecting pools to deepen intuition. The notion that the state of the heavens is mirrored by the state of the earth has persisted throughout the ages. Sometimes we look to understand our own nature. Contemporary forms of divination take on a psychological character, where the diviners examine themselves, the contents and progressions of their thoughts, their associative processes, their emotions, sometimes products of the predictable conscious mind, and sometimes the unpredictable upwellings of the unconscious. This exchange of reception and projection unlocks our powers of intuition, revealing hidden wells of wisdom. This call and echo establishes a vital correspondence with the exterior and the interior. I'm called to the horizon. The horizon is an essential feature in a majority of my images. Like a rainbow, the horizon is a virtual image. If we move, it moves. If two people look from different locations, they see not only different horizons, they also see what's beyond them differently. Horizons mark the limits of our perception. Like the picture itself, the horizon is a visual artifact that is experienced differently every time it is viewed. Horizons also highlight that in part we determine the qualities, if not the contents, of our experiences. Many Asian cultures make a distinction between two ways of seeing: hard eyes and soft eyes. When we look with hard eyes, we see specific details with sharp focus, but we don't see the relationships between different details as well. When we look with soft eyes, we see the relationships between everything in our field of vision, but with this softer focus, we don't see all the details as clearly. These images present both experiences simultaneously, seeing details with exceptional clarity and being equally mindful of their relationships with other details. Often, a point, typically a cloud or a star, or a line, typically the horizon, serves to fix the gaze in one location, while the eye continues to search without moving, expanding awareness. Sky and water readily display the presence of invisible forces at work around us. The clouds in the sky and the waves in the water, different states of the same elements constantly recycling from one to the other, show us the work of many waves. Waves of light, waves of heat, waves of wind, waves of gravity, and more. The waves we see are not the water. The water merely tells us of the passing of the wave. Water and sky are mediums that make visible and transmit. So are these images. These surfaces that reveal also conceal. Below the surface of the water and behind the blue sky is a larger universe. But if you look at them in the right ways or at the right times, you get glimpses of infinity. It's the same with these images. Sometimes you have to hold still for a long time to make the thing that holds the moment still for an even longer time. Making images may be an attempt to stay in that moment longer. The image persists long after the moment is over, allowing it to be revisited. We're always looking. My images are an invitation to look more carefully, to see more clearly, and to think more deeply, and in many more ways. I've personally found this process to be extraordinarily inspiring. I think you will too.